Good morning and welcome everyone to episode 3 of Deconstructing the Construct. And deconstructing it is. It's been a very exciting few days. There's been a period lately over the last few weeks where sort of energetically, at least, people have been feeling like we're on pause. There's so many things happening at once right now. For LA Mansion members, you'll know, last Wednesday, the CI and then the members call were really, really quite special. And Fridays in particular, this pink sphere that we've been talking about, it felt very much on the day that what we did was pull that in more, in terms of pulling it into the construct itself. Now I've got a graphic that has not been shared outside of the members up to this point, and for a few reasons, because I've been wanting to put it all together in a way that will make sense and put it all into context, but even to explain what's happened in the last little bit, kind of need to show the graphic, I think. And of course, I didn't have a moment to prepare it earlier. So one moment, and I'll find it. Here we go. Nope. So most of you guys probably haven't seen this. This is a graphic representation of the construct as we know it and feel it, and based on visuals and experiences. Primarily from, in terms of the visuals, primarily from Donna, my friend Donna. You guys have heard talk on these shows from time to time. So this portal here, is an organic, you could say, for want of a better word, entry-exit portal. But it's been blocked off. This is the sun. Earth is over here. The planets are throughout here. That is over here. This is another one on this end. I'm not going to go into everything that this represents and means and all that just yet. I'm only showing you this for relevance for this pink sphere. So when I first started sensing this pink sphere, it was on the other side of something. And what I realized was at one point it was on the other side of this wall. So it was actually outside the cube, outside the construct. And then at one point in February, I think, I felt it pop through. And that's when it popped through the wall and came into here. What's been happening, I feel, is that it's moving into the construct. And as it does so, it's expanding. And there's several reasons in terms of, energetic experiences and what have you, confirmations as well, to feel that, go with that. Now I'm not looking for another one to show you. Right. which is what we think and feel has happened. So here was the pink sphere on the outside, popped through the wall. It's now here, and it's expanding as it goes. Okay. So on Friday when we all got together, the members and I got together and we did what we do. There was very much this sense that we pulled it in further, grounded it more inside the construct. And it was an amazing experience that we had. It was really good. And then Saturday came. Is everybody okay with everything, like understand what's been said so far? Yep. Okay, who hasn't seen that graphic before? Yeah, quite a few. Okay. They were done by our wonderful Zero. Then Saturday came. At Saturday, I did not leave my bed, basically. I was in bed all day just getting information. It was kind of extraordinary. And some of which has been confirmed, a chunk of which has been confirmed by other people's experiences and expertise. Some of which hasn't and probably can't be, and some of which I can't go into details of yet for safety reasons. But even Lilu and Oliver came in last night, which was very exciting to confirm a few things. So, stuff that came in on Saturday. Where is... Don't say. So firstly was that, as I said, we felt like we pulled or grounded the pink sphere further into the construct itself. And then one of the members, Peter, who spoke up on the first episode with his dowsing and talked about the tug of war, he was asked if he could just douse the planets, not given any background, no information at all, just douse the planets. My feeling on the Saturday that I got was that if you think of the pink sphere as something quite physical or at least tangible, and then it has an energetic field that expands from there. What hit me on Saturday, not during the doing the day before, but what hit me on Saturday was that Pluto was completely engulfed now in the pink, and that the energetic radiance of the pink sphere was actually touching the rings of Saturn. And I could see the rings of Saturn starting to recoil, pull back as this energy was hitting it. And the words, Pluto is gone. Pluto is gone. I was like, what do you mean gone? Like, it's not gone. And then it was that Pluto is gone to the old construct. It doesn't exist in the way that it did. It is gone to the old. It's now completely part of the new pink sphere energy, the construct 500 version, whatever. I was like, okay. And that, yes, and that energetically this was reaching Saturn's rings. So when Peter went and did his dowsing, he said he's been able to measure the pink in itself, the pink energy, and he said that Pluto was matching that energy completely. like optimal. What was the word? It reached the optimal numbers for balance with the pink, or in the pink, and that Neptune was halfway there, and that Saturn was starting to change. So I took that as confirmation. There was also that back in November, at least we experienced it back in November. I think that everything that we've been doing, and for some time now, has been happening out of no time. And then the results, or the manifestation of that, just sort of plops in wherever it plops in into the linear timeline. So back in November, some of us were experiencing memories. These memories come back of what we were calling Invasion Day. And what I got was the reason for that happening. Sorry. Energetically, I'm freaking wired right now, and I just woke up. Nobody had 3 sips of coffee. So please bear with me. I'm not on edge. I'm just super excited. My whole body's buzzing. That the original timeline, the original layer, that original space that Lilia talked about, the original home layer, was quarantined. It was locked off. And we had to pull that fractal of ourselves, that aspect of ourselves that was in there, up and out. We had to pull it out before it got locked off and quarantined and stuck in there. Some of us did it and integrated that aspect of ourselves straight away. Many of you have pulled it at the time, but you haven't integrated it. You've kept it in your field. You've kept it in your energetic field, but you haven't actually integrated it yet. And some of you are experiencing this, and there's a couple of reasons for this. But one of the reasons is this feeling of disconnect, feeling very, very disconnected from the construct, from your environment, from your life. That deep feeling of disconnect is because you're starting to integrate that aspect of yourself that's been hanging around. Because you have, in fact, disconnected from that layer level of the construct. Does that make sense? Okay. And this, remember, we've used the analogy of a Rubik's Cube, that the original construct was a cube and it got chopped up into all those little pieces, and now so we can think of each of those smaller cubes inside the bigger cube as a quadrant, because all time is happening at once. There is no linear time, but inside the cube it was all chopped up and put into quadrants and separated. So that original layer you can think of as a little quadrant. What I also got was on Saturday that now that layer is actually gone. It's been destroyed. It's been removed. It's been whatever. It's completely gone to us now. And my confirmation for that came in the form of a friend of mine and his brother. His brother had 3 days before that, apparently, played his role in destroying the first original layer. But he didn't know when it was going to show up in linear time. And I felt it on Saturday. Okay. Now, the other part of that is that the original layer is the only place, my feeling anyway, is the only place that the controllers of this thing could have taken us back to in order to stand a chance of restarting it all. And that's where they were heading for. They were trying to pull it all back into that original layer so they could reset the whole thing over, which is why it had to be quarantined off and why it since had to be taken out. But we created a copy or a mirror of that layer, and they've been heading for that instead, a decoy. And they've only just realised it. Well, not just. I don't know when they realised it. But I feel like it was only in the last sort of 6 months. No, not even, more like 3 or 4. Which could, it's a feeling that it coincides with some of the stuff that's going on in Antarctica. There's some sort of, they did have a oh shit moment at some point in the last 3 or 4 months that has to do with that original layer and Antarctica. And I don't know what all that's about yet. And maybe we don't need to, but what else came in? There's fractals and integrating going on. We're pulling them in from all over. So this feeling of disconnect might start happening in waves as you're disconnecting from different aspects and pulling it in. So on the one hand, you're feeling disconnected, but on the other hand, it's an opportunity to integrate that aspect of you that has disconnected from wherever it came from. Oh. The tactics, because we've seen some new energetic tactics. Well, that was the point, was that they're not new. They're resorting to very old tactics energetically that they haven't had to use for some time. But there's nothing that nothing that they're doing or won't do that we haven't already seen. Because they're just not that creative, right? They're just resorting to very old. And that includes old thought forms, old programs, old whatever their old tactics were that they haven't had to use for a long time. So for those of you who are real seers and stuff energetically, and if you're looking like, I haven't seen this before, you have. Just not for a while. I also got the number 4. And I thought it was 4 days, no, 4 weeks, no, 4 months, no. And it turned out it was 4 events. And I don't know whether everything that I sensed on Saturday was event number 1 or whether there's 4 more from that. And how quickly we work through these events is completely up to us. How quick or how long it takes. Excuse me. There is, it can happen in a moment, and it's all just about us staying in love and joy and excitement and pulling in and grounding this new energy. And that's just exponentially helping. And the distractions, and I've fallen for so many of them, time and time and time again. Literally, like, because I'm back to, that's another part of this. We're back to being monitored so badly because they have so no idea what's going on. I'll get to that in a minute, the distractions. So there's more. Okay, no, this sort of ties into it. Where you feel like you've healed old wounds or broken out of old programs and you then find yourself replaying them, that is a distraction. It's a tactic. Now more than ever, it feels like we need to be the observer of our own thoughts and emotions. Because it's like they're just being played at us. I think it was yesterday. I was having a moment where I realised that a negative thought would come in. I'd play with it for a minute. And then I would go, oh, I know what this is. This is just bullshit distraction. Yeah. Clear that, move on to a much better thought, and then it would come back. And I think that happened a few times, and it was like, hang on, this isn't coming from in here. This isn't coming from me. This is coming at me. So it's like all of the programs that we have, everything that they've monitored over the years, they're able to now just keep throwing it back at us, keep distraction, keep, disconnecting. It feels like we're being monitored. There was a period there, especially when Lulu first popped in, right, where the PSYOP side of it and the monitoring was intense. And then it went away. It really felt like it all went away. And in the last, say, 2 months, it's come back big time. But it feels like right now we are being monitored electronically, energetically, and even physically. Yes, you know nothing, little girl. He came back too the other day. Like I said, it's been an interesting couple of days. Yes, and we thought all those cell towers were just for phone service. So watch your distractions, watch your thoughts, watch your emotions, and really, really feel into whether or not they're yours and they're coming up to be looked at and released, or whether you've already dealt with that shit and it's been projected back at you. Wherever your strongest connections are and the stuff that brings you the most joy, that's when the distraction comes in. Anything to keep you out of that place of love and joy and bliss and excitement, because that's what works. Okay. Now, does anybody have anything they want to comment on or perhaps add to in regards to what's been said so far? Because there's more on a different subject, on different subjects. So just throw your hand up if you do. Earl, okay. Hey, Earl.
Hey. Okay. Yeah, so I have been posting some stuff in the podcast room. And yeah, so last week the cloud level was so low here that we had a cloud going across the Detroit River near the Detroit side, and the cloud was so low that it was like, whoa.
Oh, was that the long sort of like a wave?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I predict within maybe 7 more weeks, we could possibly see, I don't know, maybe round cloud levels coming?
Oh, here's a question. I couldn't remember it last night, where the information came from. I couldn't remember whether it was Stan from Sphere Alliance or whether it was Lilu or whether it was some other channeled message or I couldn't remember. But I know somebody said that we would start seeing the auroras, both southern and northern, basically continue to spread, and we'd see them from the equator. Like they would take over the whole planet.
I did see a video something about the southern aurora.
Okay. Because it was just after I remember hearing that we've started seeing these yellow rays for Texas talked about the light show, yeah. And I wasn't sure whether that's what she was referring to, but somebody did specifically say the auroras would be seen everywhere. And it was just prior to the aurora starting to spread, only like a week or so.
Talking about having a night light.
Well, apparently the ones is like 4 days in a row, and that just never happens.
One thing I'm surprised about with everything that's going on, like with the clouds getting lower and all that, and like there's nothing on the news. No one's like going, what the heck's going on? You know, like there should just be this massive like people going, what the fuck, what the fuck, what the fuck? I mean, I'm sorry, but it's like, whoa. Like, is anyone else seeing this besides me and like probably a million other people around this world, you know?
Can you repeat that?
Like, I would love to like have a big upswell of people going, what the heck's going on? All this, like, I've seen new plant species. Like, I was seeing this, like, cactus trees. Like, they're cactus plants, but they look like freaking trees. Like, I saw in the video that was watching.
I think it is happening. I honestly do. I think there are people out there who are starting to see things, but they don't know that a lot of others are either, and everyone's keeping their mouth shut right now. So, except for people like us. And it will get to an exponential point where there is suddenly a flip. It's only going to take one person. And there are things, slowly but surely, little tidbits hitting even mainstream news. Okay? There was, what was the story the other day? It was about stuff in the sky. And very mainstream, like morning show kind of hosts going, what the hell is that? So I think it will. I think it's going to reach a point. It's going to reach some sort of 100th monkey thing where suddenly there is that upsurge that you're talking about. And it's not far off. Not the way things are happening. It's because it's so exponential right now in terms of the experiences and the observations.
Yeah, and I woke up yesterday with my collarbone, like, just like hurting. Like, it felt like if I did anything major, it was gonna go and snap on me. Like, oh my. Or it's one of the bones at the side of the neck there, and I couldn't, like, if I moved the wrong way, it was gonna be like cracked and
But did it pass?
It passed as it progressed.
Okay.
It's like one of those things you wake up at, like I woke up at one point to do what I had to do, like went back to bed, but like it's one of those things where it's like you don't know why or what you did during the night, but it's just like, plus I've had other things like last week where I felt like I went to a place. It was like a conference, like with groups of people, and like I sometimes get this energetic flood in my body,
Mm.
which is only what I can surmise. Like it'll start in my head and go down to my feet. Like it feels like someone injected you with something, and it just yeah. Plus, I've been feeling like this barrier at times,
Feeling
like
what? Sorry?
a barrier, like it's it's like a wind kind of feeling coming at you.
Coming at
That feeling,
you?
yeah, coming at me, like you know what I mean, like feel like an enveloping kind of thing. Plus, I dig into the weight room, you know,
Well, I was wondering whether that's what it was, whether it was you sort of about to pop through.
probably it just yeah. So I've been just seeing all this stuff, and it's like yeah. And then you have all what they're trying to do with starting a war with North Korea, and
Don't
it's like
pay any mind.
come. It's like to me, it's like come on, you guys had your chance, and you
Work,
messed
work,
it up.
work with the pink, Earl. Pink your place up.
Mm.
Pink your,
Mm.
give yourself a pink screensaver on your computer. Pink stuff up.
Mm.
And start working with that energy. There's something pretty magical about it.
Mm.
Don't,
Anyway, I'll let some other person,
go dye your hair.
talk.
Okay, we've got Connie as well. Connie, you're unmuted.
Hi.
Hi, darling.
Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay. Since I shared this with Collective Imagination, I want to share just a paragraph from my dream that I had after last Tuesday/Wednesday's doing regarding the Aurora Borealis.
Oh,
because this is a quote directly out of a Disney film, okay? So we know that the Hollywood has the inside info. Okay, here's what the quote says. The Indian elders taught their young that this world is full of magic, and the source of this magic is the ever-changing lights that dance across the sky. The Aurora Borealis are the spirits of our ancestors, and they have the power to make changes in our world.
thank you. That's awesome, isn't it?
Yeah, that is awesome. You're welcome.
Oh, hang on. Donna, did you get in? I just realised you sent me a message asking for the link.
Yeah, I'm good.
Oh, and I'm seeing you sent me a message this morning, but I haven't had a chance to read it. Is it something you want to share, or was it just?
Probably more in the CI show tomorrow, I think, because it's connected to Eli.
Okay. Now, I was on a call last night with Donna and Aaron, and Oliver came through. And my computer only died twice during that, so that was cool. Some of what was said was personal, but in terms of what was shared that I can share, those who are members will remember the dragon doing that we did in regards to what we were calling, excuse me, Mother Dragon at the entrance. Part of what came in for me on Saturday, which was very, very out of the blue, was Daddy Dragon. And this whole storyline, this whole narrative sort of just evolved and unraveled in my head. And I didn't know, I thought I was making it up. I thought it was my imagination. I didn't know what was going on. So I called somebody who I know is very connected to the female dragon that we worked with, and started sharing with her, and she very much was feeling the energy of this. She then sent a message, no, she then received a message from somebody else who knew nothing 2 days later, who came out with all the same information. But the stuff that was confirmed, and then Oliver also confirmed, was that essentially that all the elementals, the dragons and the fae and everybody, as well as home, those from home, are kind of in hiding, which is why there's been very little contact, because right now is kind of a precarious time. And I can go into a lot more details with you guys, with the members tomorrow, but there is stuff that is just can't be said to publicly, that we are not to go looking for them. Our job is to continue to ground, anchor, and bring in this new energy, this new sphere, the new construct. That Lilu has been incredibly busy. There's a feeling that as this new sphere makes contact with the old, all the codes are being rewritten and recalibrated to the new. And it's not happening kind of automatically. There's work, consistent work involved, is the feeling. And Lilu's very much involved in that. That we are, as I said earlier, being so monitored right now that if we are to go looking for things, we could give things away. It's why we're also having such incredible nighttime experiences, dreamtime experiences, and not remembering, or not feeling very, very present here at all, because you are off working. Everybody's working so hard. And not remembering, as frustrating as it is for a reason. So don't be hard on yourself. But you know that feeling when you wake up in the morning and it's like, I'm so exhausted. I feel like I don't feel like I slept. I don't feel like I rested. I feel like I just worked my ass off all night. You did. And not quite being able to wake up, not quite being able to be grounded or present during the day, it's because a big aspect of you is still off working. And that may, my feeling right now is that there might be more of that than not from here on in. It's happening in waves, but those waves are getting bigger and closer together, is how it feels. Yes, there are also the distraction nightmares, but you'll remember those usually. Right. Yeah, waking up all bruised and battered, literally, physically, it's an interesting one, isn't it?
We'll share one thing that was said to do with this, and that was said that hearts were being switched all over the world right now, really quickly, and that we are in a place of choice. If we see, he says, like a criminal, then we have to make a choice to sweep it out the way and make it good. But only we will experience that. Only we will see that. No one else will.
Can you explain that a bit better? What do you mean?
He was saying that across the planet right now, hearts were being turned on, and switched everywhere, all at once at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
That we are now in a place of choice. We can choose this experience, or we can choose that experience. It's a choice between two. If we see criminals, he's trying to give an example. If we see something dark, if we see something wrong, he did this action of making a choice and sweeping, he did his big arm, sweep it out the way, say no, and then make a choice to have something else. We can do that. And if we make the choice to have something else, then we can have that. But it will affect our experience. It won't always be seen by everyone around us, is what he said. It will be our experience.
So in every moment we have a choice as to what we want to experience, more so than now than ever.
Yes.
Okay. Awesome. So,
but it had to do with your heart. He kept going on about the heart, and then he did showed me his hands open around his heart, shaking and vibrating, and he made the noise. Zzz. He said, we have to get a heart like that to be able to do that. You have to be in your heart, he said, and he said, the one underneath were his words.
And
then
the
you
one
can make
underneath.
the choice.
The heart underneath?
Mm-hmm. The heart underneath, he said, pointing to the core of his chest.
Yeah. Is there anything else that was shared by Oliver last night that you think we can share here?
That we are on the right path.
Yes.
That to be in joy and to be in excitement strengthens the signal. Bring closer.
Follow the pink brick road. Yes, Phil. I like it. I've been able to sort of ascertain for myself at least the very subtle differences in emotions and thoughts and the experiences they bring. So being in love and joy brings on personal experiences, energetic experiences, tuning into this new energy. But excitement allows or seems to allow for contact via the computer with Leela and crew. It's a subtle difference, but it's there. I actually now, when I'm out and about in public, I deliberately keep my energy low because I don't want to have my dementia moments when I'm out in public where, realities collide. Laughter's big. Everyone's technology does seem to be getting affected. I didn't get anything in terms of the real cause of all of those blackouts in the States. Obviously the reasons they're giving are bullshit, but the technology in general seems to be getting affected. It's these things will become obsolete kind of soon, I suppose. Oh, I wish Peter was here so we could measure this for me, because I'm getting something. Donna, can you feel Saturn? Oh. Yeah, the LMH site is under constant monitoring and fairly regular attack. Okay, it's a full-time job, just trying to stay on top of that. But like I said, everything's getting monitored. And yeah, let's just pink it. Okay, sorry, this is hard to concentrate.
I was feeling into the monitoring late last night. And I realised it's not just this side. We are being also monitored by Lilu home like we never have before as well.
Yeah.
I just wanted to add.
Yeah, it's coming from everywhere. But the job that we have, that we've been doing in the members, it's working, and it's becoming more a clarification on where to put our focus came in, which we'll go into tomorrow. But what happened as a result of what we did on Friday, personally and collectively, it's been really powerful. So well done, all of everybody. Okay.
Well, one more confirmation I do have to share.
Hang on, I actually need to go and have a minute, because bad timing, but something's coming in, and it's to do with Saturn, and I need a minute to focus on it. I
want to tell you one more thing before you run. One more thing. So Eli last night also said, like Charlotte was on the camera, he was on camera, Charlotte could see him. He was very, very articulate last night. It was incredible. She triggered him like there was no tomorrow. And he goes, it's all changing, Mum. And he pointed up to the sky, goes, it's all changing, Mum. It's all there. It's coming. It's coming. It's changing everything. They're coming.
God love them. All right, can you guys talk amongst yourselves seriously for like 3 or 4 minutes while I just go and get my head together? Can you take over for a sec, Donna?
I can try. Does anyone have a question? Or an experience in the last few days that they'd like to share?
Donna, this is Arta. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
You can hear me, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to mention about the heart. You just mentioned that the heart is lower been what, oh boy, I'm trying to remember your words, but Philip mentioned, maybe, is it Philip? Anyway, one of the participant mentioned that you meant to say that the heart would be below I'm going to say the heart chakra and the stomach. If it's the case, that might explain why for months now, I have been feeling like huge vortexes in that area, just between my stomach and the heart, like the physical heart. Big vortexes in the morning when I wake up. So just wanted to share this. If it's the heart that you mean, maybe that's the change of the heart that you referred to.
It is, we have like the heart chakra layers which seem to sit sort of on the outside of our bodies, or we feel them there. We have our heart, and then somewhere in the heart region, there's this space. People talk about centering in the core heart, the sacred heart. There is a deeper space like that's within, that we're not hooked up to any of the harvesting stuff. It works like a Taurusy type field. I call it the core heart. People have lots of names for it, but yeah, it's something that's really in the center of you. And that's what, and when Eli was pointing, it's like around the diaphragm area and above. Is anyone resonate? Like, do you know what I'm talking about? Like, does anyone understand the difference between, say, the heart chakra and this core? Good.
Yeah, yes, I do. Thank you, Donna. I do.
Yeah, no
I know
worries. It was an amazing day, amazing last 3-4 days. It's been so much. I mean, everybody I know has been talking about there's so much happening. Surely there's someone here that has gone through something the last couple of days. Don't put your hand up with me because I don't know how to help you with that. But if you want to just speak out and say something, share anything. Cool, Penny. Go for it.
Okay, can you hear me okay?
Uh-huh.
Okay, has anybody read my post I posted Saturday in the UU about the dragon?
Nothing's coming to mind for me.
Okay, well, Saturday, okay, after Friday's CI, during the meditation, a white dragon came to me, okay, and he was right by my side, and he wasn't your traditional dragon that you think of. He was furry, he was white, and he had this cross between feathers and fur, and it was so soft, but he was so lethargic, and he could only fly short distances. And when Jeannie was talking about the picture and doing the picture for everybody, that was the CI that I was talking about. And I had confirmation when she showed the picture at the next CI meeting, because, oh my God, that was it. That's what I saw. I had a click though. But anyway, I wanted to fly with this dragon, right? But what was really weird is I couldn't see his head at all.
Couldn't see his what? Sorry?
I couldn't see his head at all. I don't know why, and I just didn't really think about it. Anyway, he kept trying to tell me something, and I couldn't hear. And then people would start talking, or the music would change, and I would get distracted. Anyway, so the next CI meeting I broke away from the group, and he showed up. and he was right there, and I had this feeling like I could morph, and so I morphed into this red dragon. So here he is white, and here I am red, and I'm furry too. It's not fur. Guys, there is no word for it here on Earth. Okay, it's just different. But anyway, so I go over close to him, okay, and we merged together, and the energy was, oh my God, so intense. So then he's gone because he's within me, and I spread these enormous wings and start just flapping them, and just getting the circulation in them. And I catch this red in the corner of my left, out of my left eye. Oh, and sorry guys, when I saw him, I was looking as a third person in the situation. Once we merged, it became first person view, okay? And so I'm sitting here exercising my wings, and I catch this red, and I look over to my left, and here's this little girl, and she's in a red and white dress, and she's just staring at me. And I think to myself, it was really weird because two pathways opened up in my mind. I could roar at her, right, and scare her, or I could nurture her. And I looked over at her, and that's the first time I could see part of my face, because the nose, because when I looked over at her, I could see my nose. And this is not colors that we know, or it's not earthly colors, okay? It's frequency colors. And so I was red, but if other light or movement interfered, it would change colors. So anyway, I looked down at this little girl, and I said, "Come here, little girl, and give me a hug." And she just ran up to me and grabbed my front left leg and just buried herself in my fur, right? And so I decided to give her a ride. And, sorry guys, I'm so sorry to jump around like this, but there was so much. Before I saw her, I was thinking in my mind, oh wow, as a dragon, I can do so much. I can help so many. And so I was trying to think of all the different ways I could help, right? And that's when I caught that red in my eye, right? And so I looked over. Anyway, I decided to give her a ride, and so I made myself smaller so she could get on. And she got on my back and buried herself in my fur. And it was so cool how it would just kind of envelop her, to keep her safe. And I started to fly, and I'm thinking in my mind, oh, I would love to do a flip and, a lot of acrobats, but I wanted to keep her safe. So I just did the basic, flying. So anyway, that's when, Lisa, you said something at that time, and it broke my meditation. And so anyway, David Hodges and I were talking, and he asked me to see if this white dragon was one of the dragons that they rescued, when you guys were doing your dragon work. So I went into meditation, and I'm on a sea. I'm in front of a sea, and there again, the colors that I'm going to mention aren't earthly colors, but it was everywhere. It was just frequency in the atmosphere everywhere. And I looked over to my right, and there was a black dragon, and he was bound. And he had what looked like, okay, when I first saw him, it looked like he had a friggin' jar over his head, okay? And I go, who would put a jar on a dragon's head? And he's in chains and everything. And I was so focused on him, I could barely see the what was behind him. But it was ruins. It looked like this huge battle had taken place, and everything was just in ruins. And so he must have been left. And as I got closer to him, I could see at when he moved, it would become red and blue, you know, within that black. It would. Anyway, I morphed because I had to be big to free him, and I freed him, and I got that. When I was up close, I finally saw it was the cylinder, this glass cylinder. And if you've ever seen the old blown glass, how it looks, how thick it is, and how it's got bubbles in it and everything, that's what was over his head. And I was so angry. Why would somebody do that to a dragon? Anyway, I got him free, but he was so weak. He couldn't fly. I don't know how long he had been there. Anyway, Claire Baker has helped me with this. Oh, she's just amazing. But I picked him up in my jaws, right? His neck, in my jaws, because he was a juvenile. He wasn't full grown. And I picked him up, and I was flying with him to go to safety. And right in midair, the meditation broke off. And I was like, oh my God. So I quickly went back into meditation because I'm like, oh my God, I need to know he's safe, you know? And so I'm meditating, trying so hard, guys. I tried so hard to get back to him. And oh my God, it's still just, very emotional. Anyway, the meditation kept thrusting me back to the seashore. Okay. And I kept going, no, I need to make sure he's okay. And it kept shoving me back to the seashore. And anyway, I said, fine, okay, fine. I will go with this meditation. Okay. And I'm standing there and I'm looking at all the colors, just beautiful. And I'm in my head, I'm like, why can't I get back to him? Why can't I get back to him? And I mean, I'm almost like in this panic because where is he? He's hurt. Anyway, oh my God. I haven't released since this, so sorry, guys. So I'm standing there and I'm going, why can't I get back to him? What is the blockage? What is the blockage? And all of a sudden, this energy from within, guys, I can't even, there's no words, just burst from that core, Donna, that you just talked about. And out walks the white dragon. Oh my God, he wasn't big anymore. He was a baby. And oh my God, just precious. But yeah, that I had no idea they were Phoenix. They had that Phoenix energy inside of them. But yeah, that was my story, guys.
That is mind-blowing, Penny. Wow. And Lucy, you muted, darling.
Yeah, I'm going to finish my cry, guys.
Thank you, Penny.
Yeah, fair enough.
Wow. I mean, people are having these experiences and they can't be written off. Not anymore. They are very, very real, and the emotions that come with them are very, very real. And it's magical, and it's fantastical, and it's outrageous, and it's all of these things. And it's because we're going with them that I think we're getting as far as we are, and not writing them off. And they are life-changing. And there will be people who watch this and go, you guys are all a bunch of crackpots. And I don't care. I really don't care. So if you're watching this on YouTube and all you want to write in the comment section is you're all crackpots, go for your life.
Yeah, people think we're going crazy, or we are crazy. I'm like, yeah, no, not going crazy. Being there, visited, fell in the place, decided to stay. Really don't care. Do not want to be normal in this world.
What's the saying? To be well-adjusted in an ill-adjusted world, or to be sane in an insane world, or something? Okay, what I just got then around Saturn was that the rings are energetic, are absolutely in the energy, and it's actually hitting the planet itself. Because it was just touching the edges of the rings on Saturday. And now the rings are fully engulfed, and it's actually touching the physical planet itself now. And it feels, and
I can confirm.
can you? I'm seeing the rings looking, and instead of being like a NASA image where they're flat, and now they're waves. It's like they're recalibrating, or they look like at some points even erratic, like an audio file. Are you seeing that at all? They're not flat anymore. They're going kind of nuts.
When I looked at the Yellow Rose for Texas update, a lot of NASA images that we use showing so much glitching out, it's not funny.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing I noticed when she got to the part where she said, oh, this is the pit, I'm not sure if I totally agree with her. In one way I could see it as the pit or perceive it as the pit, but when the sphere shows up in the background of the set sheet imagery, I noticed that, the poles that get shown as the planets are moving through it. Well, every time one of the planets with the poles hit the sphere, just hit the edge of it, the poles would start glitching out. It'd start flashing. And then I watched the next one. And when the next one hit this sphere, the same thing happened. And I kept my eye on the third one. It was a steady line. And again, it hit that friggin', as soon as it hit the sphere, it started glitching out. So I reckon with this sphere energy that we're talking about hitting the planets as it's coming in, so what you're just seeing is, like, for me, the waves of the glitching. Like, every time it hits something, it's like, it flip-flops it, switches it up, it's just crazy when you tune into the energy of it, what it feels like, it morphing. And yeah, a wave would make a lot of sense just in the way that it reacts. Definitely wouldn't be staying the way it was, that's for sure.
It's like it's having moments where it glitches to the point where it looks like a really erratic audio file, and then it smooths out, but it doesn't smooth out flat. It goes back to being wavy, and then it glitches, and then glitches. It feels like it's happening like right now. So in terms of navigating this period and what's going on, and how to get through it, there's so many things happening at once.
I want to talk about the tough side.
The what side?
We've had Gina, the tougher side. We've had a few people.
Yep.
Gina's not here. She was going to speak. Hex just mentioned it. Ourselves, me and Lisa, what we've been dealing with. The distraction side. How easy it to be distracted, and some of the techniques being deployed right now due to the monitoring and the also trying to affect us. I've had, for me, for one, noticed that if any of us go into a place of doubt or anger or have a reaction, that it feels like something tones in on that emotion and feeds it. And even when you'd be over it, it's like keeps coming back at you. It's trying to hit you. The attempts to distract you right now, to separate you from those that you love, it's internet, it's cutting you off physically, it is energetic, it is emotional, it is mental. It kind of hit me that, when I talked about if we're in a holographic construct, we're going back through layers, at some point we're going to hit, talked about this, Lisa, we're going to hit how they got us in the first place. And I think we've finally hit that. So we're not dealing with the way that they used to work, because it doesn't work anymore. They've gone back to using tactics like little barbs and trying to get us to turn against each other. And so this is going to be a very, very difficult, challenging time on one level. And it is so freaking important to center, to take time, to fight for the joy. And it is going to be a battle at times. I am not having a smooth ride here. I may know stuff in my head, but emotionally, whenever someone around me is falling apart or not dealing well, it affects me. And I know if there's any tensions, it's used against us, it's fed. So this is a really important time with everything going on. I think Shah, she said it the best for me. She said, you need to get yourself into a space in your head, in your heart, where World War III tanks could be at the front of your house blowing up, and you don't even care. It doesn't matter. It's not important. It's not. All that matters is what you're trying, that bliss you're trying to connect to, so you can bring that in, because there is a full-blown attempt right now to separate us out, to use our relationships against us, to have us doubt ourselves in particular. And this is hard. This is a hard time. I don't want to. There is so much good going on. There's so much evidence, yes, that the construct is deconstructing. But this is not an easy process by any means. It's very challenging right now to stay centered. And I just want to, that's all I want to bring up is this heart and choosing to be in heart. Now, I reckon, Charlotte, I'd love it if you could say in your way the positive aspect. I know I've kind of hit that aspect where it's not great or wonderful all the time, but what can we do about it? Navigate it, like Lisa said, to make this a smoother or easier, a more self-conscious choice of control in the position of being in our core, making choices and being aware of how we can be manipulated right now and how targeted we really are. But Shara, you please come out and sort of talk to me about, that process of when you're choosing between the two, when something's going on, like getting yourself into that space of play. You do it so well and you take me there so quickly now. She's become my teacher.
I'm nobody's teacher.
Your turn.
And you'll have to forgive me because I just got here because I was having so many miracles today that I've just lost track of time. I looked up and you guys, it was almost 7 o'clock. So I'm sorry. I don't know what we've touched on, but,
Well, can we start with any of your miracles for today?
oh my gosh, you guys, it was so awesome. I was talking to Donna and I had to get off because I live up in the mountains. So there are just certain things that have to be taken care of every summer. Like I have a really long gravel driveway. It's almost like a road. But every year people use it to turn around and so it gets pitted and I have to have it scraped and more gravel added to it. And every year I take estimates and it's like last year I spent $1,800. And I've been wanting a summer to where all I have to do is garden and trim and prune and somebody else comes to do the mowing. But every year when I get estimates, it's like $200. They want $200 each time they come out. And I need somebody to help me get the house clean so I don't have to get on a ladder, just all these little chores that I need done. And every year, this is what I'm talking about when I say choices and choosing joy. Every year, I just expect it's going to be expensive. Okay? So I had this little team of really cute muscle-bound boys come to the house this morning, so that was a plus. But they went out and they looked around the property and they came up and they said, as soon as the rain stops, I can come out and do this driveway for you for $60. And I can take care of your yard for $70. I thought I was going to faint. But those are the kind of things that happen for you when you choose the joy. Because I can remember I was talking to Donna and the guy was trying to call me on the phone so that he could come out to the house, and I just don't think I want to deal with this. Because in my mind, I just knew he's going to come out and tell me I need to come up with $3,000 or $4,000 to get all this stuff done. And I finally just said, Donna, I'm going to put you on hold. And I changed my mind because you have to be in tune with your emotions and your feelings, because when you get to the joy and you get to the bliss part, you know how that feels to be flying a little bit with your feet above the ground. Anything less than that, and you got to ask yourself, what's going on? Flip that around. No matter how bad it is, there's another way to look at it. And so I just put Donna on hold and I answered the phone and just decided this is going to work out. And it worked out so much bigger and better than I could have. You guys, $1,800 versus $60. Okay? That's what joy does. So, I've just had those kind of little miracles all day. And I was trying to explain to Donna today, you just have to get to a place to where, like she said, and I know it sounds extreme, that World War III has broken it and it's on the street in front of your house, but you know what? You don't even notice that. It's not in your reality. It's not part of your manifestation. It's
Not what you
it's a part of your world. So, but that's just where I am. And that doesn't mean I don't have my moments. And yes, this is a hard time because I live with 4 special needs kids and one is 18 years old right now. And sometimes that boy can walk in the room and I can go from flying to battle. But it's just being able, and it sounds easy, but it's hard in the beginning. You're just policing yourself, because what I'm noticing in these mergings we're having and we're seeing home, that's only happening when my feet are off the ground, happy, expecting good things, expecting joy, expecting light, looking at my son and thinking how much I love him. But as soon as I let that vibration come down a little bit, it's like a wall that just comes down and you're not there anymore. So when you're there, you feel and you realize the love and the joy and the bliss that's there. But I think you have to allow yourself to vibrate to that. And the more we work at this, and the more we get used to it, and the more we manifest it, I just see it's going to come a time to where it merges and we're not back here anymore.
Charlotte,
yes, ma'am.
the words that Charlotte is using isn't just words, though. I want you to explain it from just not too much detail, because public. Eli, when he saw you, what did you observe happen to him? And then what did he immediately talk about? The first things he talked about was your heart. Do you wanna share that little bit?
Oh, he was so cute. Because the first thing
merging.
Yeah,
talked about the merging.
Right. The first thing I noticed was his little fingers on the door. And Donna turned the camera around and he just came in the room and started talking about a snack. But he was so cute because when he looked down at the computer and saw me there, and I don't think he's ever been face to face with me before, there was a revving up of his energy. And there was such a revving up that it included his little hands doing a dance. And you could just feel his energy go up and up and up, and that little smile. And he just kept tilting his head and looking at the camera. And he was trying to figure out where I was. And when she told him that I was all the way in America, he started talking about, well, her heart's so big, it's bigger than the universe. And he talked about my rainbows, and he saw my big cats that I have to merge to see. But he
talked about your big cat.
My three big cats.
Oh, unreal.
He talked about seeing a rainbow world behind her and people around her, and he was looking at the screen, looking at her and looking at the screen, and you could tell he was seeing stuff. He wasn't, and he was like looking at the screen. Wasn't he, Charlotte? Like, what was the words you used? Like,
are you looking at this, Mom? Because he would tilt his little head and point at the computer and then look up at you and go, and there's a rainbow world and 3 cats, one that's got a black body and a white face and a gray one and a yellow one. And he was just so precious.
But he was really focused on the heart and how powerful the heart was and how big the heart and the vibration of the heart. He was talking about the vibration of the heart, showing with his hands that he was seeing Charlotte, and what he was feeling into was the heart size. He even gave it a number. She had 999 something, think that it goes to, it's 1 million. And I'm like, that's pretty. And he goes, yeah, it's bigger than even this place. And then he goes, no, it's even bigger than the universe. And then when he's seeing that and seeing and feeling into her heart, Charlotte's heart, and how big it was and what she was choosing, he started talking about merging. It's all coming in. It's merging. The whole lot's changing. There's stuff up there, Mum, and it's changing everything, pointing up to the sky. And
yes,
hearts are sweet.
Wasn't he even giving you a time limit on, if you would just realize this and do this, it should only take like 3 minutes.
3 minutes and 10 seconds for a full transition.
Whoa.
But you have to get your heart there and you have to vibrate there. Like, if you could just do this, it would only take this long.
So this is, in terms of navigating, okay, it's so important, and we are always getting the confirmation and the evidence for doing this, that staying in your heart, staying in a place of love, staying in joy, staying in excitement is the fastest way to create change. It sounds so passive. It sounds, and to those who have been physical as well as energetic warriors, this sounds like being asked to just do nothing, but it's not. It's the most powerful thing we can do right now. And be the observer when it comes to your thoughts and the feeling. If there's stuff on repeat, if there's stuff on that's negative and that's trying to pull you out of that place, the interference that is trying to come in and interfere with the things in particular that bring you the most love and joy, the relationships, the people, the experiences, the activities, whatever it seems like there is interference. Even if it's your biggest bliss is to go out in your garden and plant, you'll find one distraction, one interruption, one whatever to stop you from going out into the garden, because that's where you get your most bliss. Make a choice. We are at a choice moment, every moment right now, to choose between the old construct reality or the new one, between love and fear, between whatever, between the pink and something else. It's constant. And the more that we can make a conscious choice, the more that we can stay in our hearts, the more that we can, like Penny did with that little girl, she had a choice. Scare the shit out of her or take her for a joyride, and she chose to take her for a joyride.
I want to explain why now. Like, ever since this energy has become available to us in February and onwards, ever since it's been available to us, from that moment on, me personally and Lisa have had one thing after another. And the reason why now is because it's all been in no time and in some way, all that tech is done. It is all taken down, and there's only one thing that they have left to delay this, and that's all they can do, delay it. It can't be stopped. It cannot be stopped now. It's past the point of stopping, but they can delay. And how they delay it is to have you focused on anything else but what you're trying to create, what you really want to manifest, where your heart really is, whether it be bringing home in, experiencing home, creating that, or that choice, the choice between the two. And what they're doing is anything they can to distract you from that. So they will cause conflict between friends, between family. They will do anything that distracts you from that. Anything. That is why it's still a battle. It is such a big battle right now. It is not doing nothing at all. This is one of the hardest things, to love someone even when you feel them hating you, and to stand there and take that and love them anyway. That is a battle. That is not an easy thing to do at all. That is our battles that we face right now, because the only thing that's stopping us now is us, and they know it. That's all they got left. That's it.
Susanna just asked, what if they know it, and what if you know that but they don't? Doesn't matter. It's what you do that does.
Mm-hmm.
And the image that I've got in my head is like, we are standing on the footpath, and this new home that we've created is just across the road. It's right there. It's already done. It's there. And all we have to do is cross the road and walk up the path to the front door. And yet, it's just traffic. It's just, so you got to try and cross the road, navigate this traffic. And,
Charlotte's Way,
that's all.
there is no traffic. Charlotte's Way, there is no traffic. I don't see traffic. What traffic? What traffic are you talking about? I'm going there anyway. And she floats across the traffic above whatever car's there, because there's another way of looking at it. There's another way of doing it. For me, that's what she's teaching me, because, you know, I got to a kind of point where I couldn't quite figure out how to do it. And the last week that's what she's taught me. Change what you're seeing in yourself. And that's what Eli said. He said it's not, he said it can be like you've got it happening around you, but no one else is seeing it. It'll just pass through them. He's trying to say it's your reality that gets affected. It's a choice for you. So yeah, that's it. That's the only thing between us and that experience now. And integrating it and focusing on integrating it's the fastest way. Being distracted, and boy, I've never seen more distractions externally, internally, personally than I have ever experienced in my entire life. And it has been so overwhelming. And oh, thank God.
And this is why it's up to us in terms of how long this all takes. If we stay focused, we stay on track, this happens really quickly. We get distracted, we prolong. It's as simple as that. There is, and someone asked me the question before about these 4 events. What are they? I don't know. I don't even know if what I felt on Saturday was the first one. And it might just be 4 different stages of expansion as this, maybe it happens like that. I don't know. I think the auroras and the lights in the sky could be considered one of them. And I think that's just going to continue to build.
Connie, my feeling, Eli said it, Aaron's brothers, Jake said it, it's going to happen collectively. It is both individually and collective. That's why there's so much intent to separate us and put conflict and doubt and all that between us all right now, because collectively we are more powerful. But yes, we can do it individually. We have to do it individually in order to connect collectively. So it is an individual inside job, but there is a point where we are connected, and everything that I do, I think what Eli said to me, he said, Mum, when you do something, he said, the energy goes down you. It goes down into your legs. He said it goes into, and he didn't explain the earth. He didn't say the earth. He said into everything, and it never stops, Mum. Don't you understand? It never stops. Once you've put it through your body now, and it goes into your legs, it goes and it never stops. And he said, and when you talk to someone and you're their face, he said, that energy, he said, is hitting them whether you like it or not. So everything I do is going to affect everything everyone else does, and everything everyone else does affects me. So the more people that are choosing to be distracted, to allow the, and it is pressure of this, what we're seeing going on and how horrible it is, to come in. When you're doing that, you're holding others back. When I'm doing it, I'm holding others back. So because collectively we affect each other, the numbers and us collectively make a big difference. But it really is an inside individual job to get there, and an individual choice.
Claire's also got a hand up. Claire, you're unmuted.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay. For anybody that's going through any emotional problems right now, I have a really, really excellent way to integrate emotions. All you have to do is say you're feeling anger, jealousy, whatever. You just simply relax.
Claire,
Feel.
sorry.
Yes.
Can you just back up from the microphone a little bit?
Yes, is that better?
Yes.
Okay. So you just relax your body and you feel the energy of the emotion. If it's anger, jealousy, just let it go through every bit of your body and accept it into your beingness. And as you're consciously feeling the energy go through your body of whatever emotion it is that you're not happy with, it all of a sudden in about 3 seconds transforms to pure energy because your mind is feeling it instead of in your mind psychologically entangling with it. It goes into your body and transmutes into pure energy, and now you have control of it and you can put it through your heart, and it's just beautiful. It's just like all that energy that was distracting you or hurting you or feeling bad becomes just pure transmuted energy, and it really works. It's so simple and so easy. It's just a matter of letting it diffuse through you and accepting it, and boom, it becomes something else.
Yeah, well, when you resist it, you feed it. The resistance is
exactly. That's what hurts.
Yes.
So anyway, it's just a way of transmuting any energy that you're not happy with and pulling it in to make it something beautiful, and it just becomes like pure energy, and it's amazing. That's it.
You've actually reminded me of something too. There's so many facets happening right now. So, as I said, okay, we are integrating other fractals and aspects of ourselves. Some of those aspects and fractals are still holding programs that you've already cleared. So sometimes it feels like it's yours and it's coming back up again. And it's like, well, I've already dealt with this. Why is this coming up again? It's not necessarily this you. It's another you that hasn't actually done the work and dealt with it. So try not to get into your head. Going into your head and trying to make sense of it, it will just prolong and make this painful process. Just love it anyway, integrate it, accept it, transmute it. There are things that these other fractals and aspects of ourselves are dealing with that we've never dealt with. And so you're wondering, where the hell, this is so foreign to me. What is that? Why is that? Don't try and analyze it. Just bring it in, love it, accept it, transmute it. There are the distractions and projections and attacks, or whatever we can call them that. Again, our heads are our own worst enemy right now. And this is a hard one for me, as I am so often in my head and analytical and need to understand the why. The why has always been my question. So not going there and not trying to analyse is, it's tricky. I don't need to understand it first before I can integrate it. What generally happens is if I just allow and integrate and love it, then if I need to understand it, that happens as a byproduct. It happens after. I'm just trying to, in terms of navigation, there is stuff that's going on in our dream state, which is external. There is also stuff going on in our dream state that is us working, and there is stuff that is us integrating that we can't deal with consciously so much. Our bodies are having a hard time. I think we talked about this on the last Deconstructing. That some of this is just, if you think of every cell in your body is conscious as well and needs to integrate all of this. So be gentle with your bodies, but our bodies are also absolutely the final expression of of our consciousness. So there are, like Earl expressed before, sometimes you wake up some mornings and you seem to have an injury that feels chronic, like you've had it for years. Well, where did that come from? It's because you're integrating an aspect of yourself, in my opinion anyway, that has had that. So you can do it in the course of a few moments, a couple of hours, love and accept and integrate. and it will pass. I have used transmute. And when it comes to thought patterns and emotions, if you notice them on a loop, go, I see what's happening. And I don't know, go and listen to Abraham Hicks or something, or take their advice when they say, just reach for a better thought. It's a struggle sometimes.
Or go and harass Charlotte. She'll put take this back to how all of what you're saying affects the collective again. Charlotte triggered me again as to how that happened with Eli. And when Eli walked into the room and he saw Charlotte, her energy, her heart space triggered him, activated his heart, which activated mine, which then reactivated his because I got excited. And Lisa, you know how hard it is to when those moments of breakthrough come through for Eli. They once he's gone, he's gone.
Yep.
He was there solidly for a good 15 minutes, and he said 2 or 3 more things to me personally, and then he took a big deep breath and said, "Oh, finally, I can go to sleep now. Like I've passed the message on." The thing was, he didn't come into the room with the intent of that. He didn't hold that intent. He was just holding the space. Charlotte's energy, my energy, being in play at the time affected him, which opened him up. So when we do that, when we are able to achieve that space and hold it, it's going to have an effect on everyone around us.
Everybody's got their own idea of what home is or what this construct looks like uninfected, whichever way you want to put it. And in every moment, we have a choice when we're confronted with the construct. What would this look like? What would this situation look like if I was at home? And make that choice. What would I be doing right now? How would I be spending my time? And do whatever it is you can to try and do that. And if we can do that in the most mundane, boring, or challenging situations, that for me is a quick way to get there. What would this situation look like at home? What would I be seeing instead? If it is, Shah's World War III is happening outside in your street, what would I be seeing instead? A parade? A Mardi Gras? A block party? What would I be seeing instead? What do I want to see instead? And go into that, imagine it, feel it, love it, and the situation changes. It really does. Taze, you're unmuted.
Hi, Lisa. Hi, everyone.
How you doing?
I'm mostly okay, but I just not even sure if this is the right place to even say anything, but I'm compelled to. So beginning at about June of last year, I began sensing that I was in a different place. And the reason I say that is I experienced a very much disconnection from the past 16 years of my life, as though that time span became a very vague memory of an experience. Yeah?
Like a movie you watched once.
Yeah, I could barely, I could remember the plot and maybe a scene here or there, whatever. And then, that's exactly. So moving forward through these past months since about last June, I was like, well, that's interesting given the events that led up to mid-June last year. End of April last year, my partner's 16 years died unexpectedly, right in my arms, very traumatic, oh my gosh. And then his kids, our family, like, they all just disappeared. They're like, I have no contact with any people from my connection with him since about mid-June. And that's really kind of a relief. Although on one end I could go to, oh, I'm so sad and whatever, but I don't feel it because the only thing I don't even feel anything about it, which is really bizarre. Because I'm a very loving, connected person. So I come full circle now to this 1 year marker, which I didn't even realize till somebody mentioned it a week ago. And when I had the realization that it will be a year, that triggered this breakout in tears. And I don't even know why I was tearful or crying about it. I had to leave the room. And now, back to what we were talking about earlier, that has gotten triggered maybe 3 or 4 times in this past week. So I just be a little tearful and melancholy, or whatever word you want to place it to. And it almost feels as though there is a thing that is an attempt of drawing me back over there, which I wasn't really a part of, versus where I am here in this center of my world and in my power position where I am here, where I was always. But it's just really odd I'm having a hard time discerning, am I feeling these emotions, delayed grief or whatever? I don't really buy into that because that's just silly. I don't even know how to figure it out. I'm stumped.
Okay, I got something, but Donna, do you?
If you're thinking the same thing I'm thinking, it's the it's all merging to here part, the door.
I didn't catch that, Donna. It's all
merging. So
okay. Separated and now merging again?
Yes. So if we were to look at it like the Rubik's Cube, right? And the little, we'll call them quadrants, right? So you shifted out of one quadrant into this one back in April of last year. And you disconnected from that quadrant. But now, as all of these quadrants are merging to become one cube again or whatever, that there's a process of integrating. The reason I would say that you had an emotionally somewhat easy time over something as traumatic as what you did, is because you actually did disconnect from that whole timeline or layer or whatever. But now it's just merging. So have your little moments, have your tears, integrate it, love it, transmute it.
Pink it. I mean, and like everyone has said, okay, that was interesting. What was I doing? And I just kind of pick right back up and get on with it, because I'd rather be easy with all of everything than to get stuck in any one little hiccup thing or big hiccup thing or, you know, a big puke fest or whatever. You know what I mean?
Is that
And
kind of
just
what you were
be
going to say,
easy.
Emma? Oh, sorry, Taser.
Yeah,
Yes.
cool. All right.
Thank you.
Well,
That vision of that, you know, like you're feeling like you're separating, and then suddenly you're feeling like, no, wait a minute, I am the center point, and home's coming to me.
yeah.
There's a switch over. There's a feeling you're separating for a long time, and then you feel like there's all these parts coming in, and you're getting stronger, and then you're at the center point where now you can hold the energy. Home is coming to you, but you're integrating it, and it's coming through your thoughts and what you want to create and experience. Collectively, once enough of people do that together, we will collectively, it will change, but it will happen gradually too, so our minds don't break. But where you say, I just got confused at the end because now I feel like I am the center point of it all. To me, that's the truth right there, that you went through all of this, but you're now at the center point where we're part of the quadrant now, the part of the quadrant that is integrating the sphere, the tech being taken out. And all the other quadrants are merging to this one, and eventually all the separations between times and worlds will be gone. This is a gradual
Perfect
process, and we're the ones that decide the speed of it. We're the ones that decide,
yeah. Well, thank you for everyone for creating a safe space, because there's really not a single person in my world that I have spoken to about this. I've just been kind of being. It's all I've just been being. So just thank you. From my heart.
You're welcome. Thanks for playing with us.
It's fun. It really is fun.
And yeah, Murray just made a point too about it being...
Hey, Lisa, can you mute me on your end again?
Sure.
Because mine...
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I got you. All of these... Okay, what's with the jets? All of these, they're just metaphors for an energy. You know, it's a frequency change. However, it does literally change the physical. Because everything that we see as physical is just energy, right? So it's a retuning, it's a recalibrating of the frequencies. And
coming together of like becoming big, or as Maury said, the beingness, the center of the beingness of who you are is massive.
Yeah,
we're not just a little human being. You've been chopped up and separated out, but you bring that all back in. That center point is where it all where you can change it from there.
So I want to thank everybody for joining us today. There's a lot to navigate from here on. There has been a lot to navigate, and that will continue. Go easy on yourselves. Love yourself. Love each other. Love your ability, and be grateful for your ability to create the experience that you want, because we are stepping into that in every moment more and more and more. The interference between us and our experience is dissolving more and more if we allow it, if we choose that. So, fun. Pink it. Love you all. Thanks for being here again. I'll see the members tomorrow. We have fun tomorrow. And I will see you then. And see everybody else next week. Bye for now.